The Bob Dylan record that really resonated with me as a kid was Bringing It All Back Home.
Yeah, Time Out of Mind, I feel like I just really connected with that record.
My favorite Bob Dylan album is Oh Mercy.
My favorite Dylan album depends on my mood. I frequently will pull out Blood on the Tracks. I just love that album. I love Slow Train Coming. I love the Mark Knopfler guitar sound to it. I love Saved, the inspirational songs, very powerful album. And I love Infidels. So I think it's that early 80s stuff that resonates with me most. That's an unusual Italian-only double album you won't find anywhere else but Italy. I labeled it Island Lane, shame on me. Forever Young Records has been in business for almost 40 years. 25 years ago, I bought an acre of land on Highway 360, a major freeway here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and built the biggest rectangle I could put on that acre of land. It's about 11,000 square feet right now that you can see. It's such a massive store that most people are amazed when they walk in and just see the size of it, and it is full. Even though it's a large store, I'm out of room. And I have about 250 to 300,000 LPs in the store, and probably more than that on CDs. Well, ready to go for the new rifle bin.
Here in the How Many Roads exhibit, we have a case that's dedicated to some rare, incredible records from the collection of David Ekstrom.
Well, my private collection started in November of 1978 by buying those three albums. Live at Budokan, two Japanese-only albums. One was called Grand Prix 20 and Grand Prix 30. And shortly after that, I had an uncle who had gone to Japan on business, and I had asked him, can you get me every Bob Dylan record pressed in Japan? Which he did. And so I have all these 1978 issues of his entire catalog, which is kind of the root of my collecting. So this is a full-page ad that was probably put out in Billboard or Cashbox or something. And then they created this packet to go along with the ad. So here it says, to Evelyn, from me, I hear now, yes, Bob Dylan. There we go. An autographed copy of Freewheelin'. These are all of the ones that I have with the lyric sheets, because they come, many times I track it down and there's no lyric sheets. So I've gathered these. Waves. And there's the test pressing for Planet Waves. Different cover. Quad version. It's his first performance in New York City, November 4, 61. And I bought this from Izzy Young directly. Mark Davidson, the archivist there, came and visited my home and rummaged through some of the stuff I had, and he had a purpose of this new exhibit.
We have here a copy of Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, Dylan's second record, with a track listing that actually didn't end up being the track listing that was ultimately put out for sale.
Because of a controversial song that he was going to be performed on the Ed Sullivan Show. However, it got nixed. Controversy says that the attorneys didn't want him to sing the song, so Talkin' John Birch Society Blues. And as a result of that, he had to change up the album. So Freewheelin' was issued officially, but with 4 songs that initially were on the first pressings were no longer made. This is the actual record that I received. It's stereo. And what's special about this record, it does play the 4 rare deleted tracks, but on top of it, it lists the rare tracks on the record label, which the only known version of the rare track version was a mono issue, and that doesn't have the songs listed. Only they're pressed in the vinyl. So you have to get lucky and know what to look for. Well, what you want to look for is that on the rare version, the side 1, the common version, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, is the last track. And on the rare version, it's not. It's the third track. It's just a boast. Here's August '94 Record Collectors Magazine, which is a UK thing, and of course, the Freewheelin', the world's rarest album. So when I tell people that I have the rarest album, of course, you can, yeah, no, you don't, or, you know, yeah, but Record Collector says I do. So there you go. This is a Bob Dylan acetate, which is a one-of-a-kind, one made at a time track of Die in Your Footsteps is what it's labeled, but it's called Let Me Die in My Footsteps. On the Bob Dylan Freewheelin', that was too controversial, so they took this song off the album. What was interesting about it is this acetate came with this very interesting Columbia lettered, hand-typed Bob Dylan explanation on where he got the inspiration for this song, dated May 18th, 1962. So it is very Dylan-esque in his writing. You can tell how he features this stuff. I'd like to say that here is one song that I really am glad I made a record of. I don't consider anything that I write political, but even if I couldn't hardly sing a note, or even if I couldn't stand on my feet, this is one song that people won't have to look at me or even listen closely or even like me to understand. Signed, Bob Dylan.
David Ekstrom let me see his private collection of just Dylan records, and I've never seen anything like it. I could have spent a week just looking at different versions and variants of the same record, which having him explain why this version was important to collect and this particular import and this particular label, for me it was a real thrill. Both seeing how massive the collection was, but also his passion around getting every last Dylan record ever produced.
Just began collecting Bob Dylan in 1978, and now it's like I'm an expert. Just because of passion, you got to watch. If you're passionate, you better watch out what you do.
Let me die in my footsteps before I go